listen to my heart, it says I love you. It was your
I've always been very musically inclined, so to speak. Ever since I was little, but it became it became very like serious for me when I went to uni, and I started to think my mentality about like what I wanted for a career started to shift, which was really odd because I just went to school. I'm doing like a different program that is not music, obviously. So it was very weird that at the same time I'm starting to realize that okay, maybe I want to do music for for life. But yeah, it was at this time that I sort of like figured out that this is what I wanted to do, and I started to take it very seriously. So. So first of all, like Ije Love, I've seen a lyric video on YouTube. Someone's made a lyric video and they said they translated Ije Love as egg of love, which is hilarious. I just laughed and I'm just like, which kind of translation with this one? But so just to clarify, to make clear for people who are not you know, who don't speak Igbo, Ije Love. Well, a direct translation would be walk of love, right? Love's walk or journey of love, basically. So you know how like love is a journey, love is a process, love is, all of these things. So it's, I'm saying basically this is our love story, right? Yeah, basically that's what it means. And the story of Ije Love. Ije Love, I wrote Ije Love when I was in uni. I don't remember the exact year, but I remember writing this song and I was in uni and I had written it like, to an instrumental that I found on YouTube, right? And I remember very vividly that I wrote just the first verse and the chorus and then I stopped. That was it. That was like long, long ago. And I recorded it like as a voice note on my phone, right? And I stopped and I saved it somewhere. I would usually like save like vocal files like on my Google Drive or something. So I saved it somewhere and fast forward to last year, 2023. I somehow I met Kaline, right? And we became acquainted. And one day I think I posted something on my Instagram, and then she DM'd me and she said, "Oh, Chale, I really like what you're doing. You're very inspiring. That is amazing. Keep doing you." And for some reason, I'm a very spontaneous person. I don't think. I just act most of the time. It's a good thing sometimes. It's a bad thing sometimes. But I remember she DM'd me, and then I was like, oh, she said all these amazing things about me, and about me, just the content that I'm doing, and it was really, really nice. And I remember saying, "Oh, now that you are here, I beg you, I get one song like that that had written like a long time ago. Like, would you be interested in collaborating on this song with me?" And she hadn't heard it at the time, so she said, "Oh yes, absolutely. Just send it over to me." And then I remember forwarding her like the voice notes, right? I sent her the voice note, and then she listened and she texted me back. She's like, "This is amazing, and I would love to jump on it." The next thing, obviously, it was just like a vocal recording. There was nothing like. So Kaline plays the piano. You know this already. So she plays.
Yes.
She's a music producer, and she sent me a piano track, of for the song, right? So we sort of like laid the foundation for what you hear now. And then I went and I recorded my vocals. It was very fast. The whole process was very. So I went and I recorded my vocals, and then I sent it back to her, and it was some back and forth. And then she recorded. After some while, she recorded her vocals. When she sent me her verse, at first she was like, "Oh, do you want to write for me?" Or I was like, "No. I think because this is someone like who I think, in my opinion, she's a very brilliant musician." So I told myself, I was like, "No, I think you should express yourself based off what you're hearing in my lyrics. Then just express yourself." And she went and she wrote like that verse that you hear, and she sent it to me. And then I remember losing my shit when I heard it. I was like, ah! It was crazy. I remember like I listened to it over and over again, and then I was like, like I was overjoyed. I was really happy, and yeah. And fast forward to you know how the process gets back and forth. We recorded, and and there you have it. It's a love. I'm a daydreamer, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things that I write come from a place of fantasy, right? I don't know if this might be shocking for some people because like singers are expected and artists are expected to like write from a place of reality. And while I think that is real and true and a good thing, sometimes like I feel like it's limiting. I dream. I just from my head, from my fantasies. So at the time there wasn't any particular story. It wasn't related to me, really.
Okay.
It wasn't my story. It was just my imagination. And I was thinking about like, just what it would feel like to be in love and to have this person that you wanted to walk the walk with, this person you wanted to hold your hand. And in my daydreams, like the music and the lyrics came to me, and yeah. And obviously it's inspired also by the my environment. What is great about this is that now people can listen to the song, and it could be it tells their own story, right? Wasn't even like I didn't even know there was a movie, to be honest. Like me, I was just like, well, like, because like I saw it as an opportunity to work with someone that I admired, right? Because I'm a very collaborative person as an artist, and generally as a human being. I love collaboration. It's tough and it's tricky and it's a lot sometimes, but I love the idea of just getting together and working on something with someone who gets it. So, and for
Mm-hmm.
me, Kaline was that person. She gets it, and she's a musician. So when she DM'd me and she said, because now we at this time we were already like acquainted. So when she DM'd me and she said these nice things, I thought like, oh, this is nice, and my head was like, oh yeah, no, just throw it in there, and then I did. So there was no talk of in my I didn't know about like the movie until she heard it, and then it was much later that she reached out and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm working on this movie, and the director has heard this song." And this was
Mm-hmm.
when it wasn't even ready. This was when it wasn't even ready. Like, like she hadn't recorded her part even. But she said, "Oh, I'm working on this score, and the director thinks this song is great for a part." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And like I always take things with a grain of salt. You know how like life can be. They'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you, yeah, well, it's going to happen, and then it ends up not happening. I'm very used to that. Like, you can imagine being an independent artist. So when eventually became a thing, and I realized, oh, it was serious, and like I was open to the idea, obviously, because you want to give your song, your music a chance, however you can, right? So for me, I was like, yeah, that's great. If it fits, it fits. So since it fits, by all means, yeah, let's do it. So I think the director or the producers really liked the song, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to be, they wanted to use it for a particular scene, and you've seen that scene. So I think
Yes.
when I saw the scene, I felt like, oh yeah, great choice. It makes a lot of sense when you look at it now. I understand why they wanted to use that song for that scene. So that was basically it. And then yeah, we signed some papers, and got some money, and yeah. It felt good. It felt so good. Like anything else, really. Like when you get recognized, like it feels good. And I can't even lie. When I saw the clip, so one day I'm on set, I'm working, um, and Kaline sends me a video clip of her, like she's seeing this film on a big screen in the cinema, right? I think it was the Afrif premiere, right? So she's in a room full of people, and that scene comes up, and then she records it on her phone. She sends it to me, and then I just stopped. Like I stepped out to watch it, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh. it just made a lot of sense. Like it was a
Mhm.
very, it was a moment because like you realize that, oh, this little thing you've created isn't so little anymore. It's become a part of something bigger, right? Honestly, been so far my most successful release, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't say that like, like lightly because or more like you know how it is, like, being like, a rising star. Things don't
Mhm.
always go the way you want it, but the reception has been amazing and I'm so thankful. And yeah, everywhere I go, I just hear, oh, if you go to my YouTube and um just like a bunch of comments, like it's not too many, but it's like enough, right, to tell you that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not too many, but it's enough to tell you that, like, when you do something right, something that's impactful, something that means something to people. So I see all these comments, oh, Breath of Life brought me here. This song is wonderful. Or people say, oh, I've been searching for this song like a mad person for like, you know,
Mhm.
and then that's crazy to me because like it's this little piece of music that I created like a long time ago when I didn't even like I didn't know what it was going to where it was going to go or who was going to feature on it. I just knew I wanted someone on it. And now it's turned out to be this thing that's in this movie and people really love it. The reception is great. It has 4,000 Shazams so far. People listen to the song and go, "Whoo, what's that? I like that."
Mhm.
And then they search for it, and then that means a lot to me. It means it just sort of tells me that I'm doing something. Um, yeah, it gave what it was supposed to give, as the as the Gen Zs would say. My first time, my first ever sync license, whatever, and I didn't really communicate with the team directly. A lot of the communication came from Kaline, right? So moving forward, it would feel good to be approached like directly, right? I want the you know the chance to sort of like create something from scratch for a film, right?
Mhm.
That would feel really good. This was a song that was existing and then it got used in the film. Feels great, but it would feel I just want for the future, I want to be able to curate specifically for films and or even have like more of my songs, like used, you know, have the possibility of being featured like in films like this. It's really like it makes a lot of sense and I think it's pretty special. Just write great
Mhm.
songs, write good songs, just have the music mean something, right? If the music is good and it means something and it inspires a feeling, then because like movies and pictures, it's about feelings and it's storytelling, right? So
Mhm.
so most of the time the songs need to translate and or interpret like a certain mood, right? So if your music does that, then that is the first criteria, I guess. The next one would be visibility, which is what even myself I struggle with this. Um, do what you can to stay visible and to be able to be within reach of those opportunities because these things come and sometimes it doesn't get to people you know as, who are talented enough to do it. But then I feel like stay visible, write great songs, and be smart. Be smart. Shine your eye. No grief for anybody. Get a lawyer. So important. Me too. Like, do you know I don't have a lawyer at this point? It's crazy. Like, it's
So you did
ridiculous.
all the
Yeah,
agreements and
so
signing. It was just
Namio, I read though. I read and I read. I say, oh, before I see but then that's also like risky, right? It's not a good thing. I'm
Mhm.
not proud of it. Like, like I'm one of my biggest goal for this year is setting up a team, right? It would be nice for producers to just, to empower, the creatives that because there are too many talented people who can write these songs, who can perform these songs. Like and this boils down to visibility as well. Like if the producers can reach out to these people and collaborate with them and create, it would make a lot of sense. I hope that creators like that are musicians and creators in the film industry can come together to, to step up the game. That I have now, the new fans that I have now, people that are listening to me and listening to Ije Love, they have come from this opportunity,
Mm.
right? And it's really that's what's really driving the music. And you know, people, they get there, they hear the song, and then they come and they discover the artist,
Mm.
right? So it's the music first. And how do they hear the music? Through the film, the sync licensing opportunity. And then they discover the artist, and then they become fans, and then it becomes a community.